Good afternoon, everyone. It's the Poacher coming to you live from my studio here on Sunday, June 15th, officially match day 2 of the FIFA Club World Cup here. So, a lot of action early on, I would say. Right now, we're barely 4 games in. I think the next game is Seattle against Botafogo RJ at 7 p.m. That'll be an exciting match to watch, I hope, coming up. But yeah, just small recap so far into the tourney right now is, Inter Miami tied against Ali SC 0-0 last night. Exciting match. You could say Ali had like the better possession in the first half and chances. They had a penalty that was blocked that could have been the first official goal of this competition, but that was not meant to be. They look at the second half. Miami had a lot of chances. I think especially the last like 6-8 minutes, they just convert, and they both lead with a draw on each a point coming up. Then you look at this morning. If some people were saying that you missed out on a great game, not really, right? You're looking at Bayern Munich slacking Auckland City FC 10-0. With this, it reminded me back in the day. When Germany beat like Saudi Arabia 8-0 in their opening game of the World Cup. It was just one of those games that just like, German teams always just keep going, right? That was the mentality. But yeah, they won 10-0. So unless you're a Bayern fan or you look Thomas Muller, it's kind of a snooze fest, right? In that particular case, right? I'll say almost game of the day, but I think like the biggest hype of the day was like PSG against Atletico, right? At the Rose Bowl. I think it goes, even though it ended up being 4-0 PSG, it was still a great game. A lot of back and forth. You had like Atletico had some great chances, just couldn't convert. And I honestly think PSG is still in form where they were in Champions League. Like heading towards the final, the way they execute the final right now, like. They look like a team that it's hard. It's going to be a tough out. I think they win this competition. That is to be determined. I'll probably go over some predictions in a different video. But I think PSG is looking like quite good, and they look like they're still in form to where they were at a couple weeks ago in the Champions League final, which they became victorious, right? When it comes down to that here. Atletico, I think I feel like it's always again. Great team, great quality. I just think sometimes they always come up short, right? I feel like the second goal by PSG before the half was the backbreaker, right? You had Griezmann with an excellent chance right to the goalkeeper, and then 45 seconds later, they're down 2-0. A minute later, they're in the locker room down 2-0 instead of 1-0, right? So, and I think Atletico, I also think they get out of the round based on, who else they have in their group. But, depending who they draw in the next round, which right now, the way it's looking like, most likely it's going to be could be like a potentially a Palmeiras or Porto. They could make it through to second quarterfinal on that, but we'll see for sure. Then leads to the game that just ended right now, which is Palmeiras and FC Porto. Palmeiras, you can tell they invaded Times Square. Some of you guys saw on social media. And then you're looking at the game itself. Even though it was 0-0, it was an exciting one to watch. You felt like it was I think probably the most even match in these 4 so far in this tournament. And I feel like either team could have won this. I feel like Porto was more fortunate to end with a draw than Palmeiras. Palmeiras had a lot of the key chances late in the game. On that, they just couldn't convert. And so they both come away with a point. So you look at all Group A right now. They all completed their first round of action. They all have 1 point. All of them each. All of them have not scored a goal or conceded. So definitely for sure, like Group A, the matches are going to heat up in the upcoming days ahead coming up here. So that almost concludes day 1, day 2. We got one more game left to go, and I'll put that in my next video with also tomorrow's games, which tomorrow's games you're looking at LAFC against Chelsea. That's going to be an exciting one for sure. Then you look at Boca Juniors against Benfica, and then you look at Flamengo against Esperance. So all 3 games, honestly, tomorrow could be great, right? I think you're a football fan and you really just want to watch the games. There are some great ones tomorrow. I think the Boca Juniors Benfica game, I think, will be the game of the day. on that here, and that's going to be at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, coming up here. But outside of that, thanks for watching. Again, keep watching. Those league games. But other than that, enjoy the games. I'm out. Peace.